Why is the espresso machine at your local coffee shop always temporarily down? I found out the hard way, and it ended up costing me my job. I started at a busy cafe downtown about a month ago. My first week, I lost count of how many times I had to tell people we could only do drip because the espresso machine was broken. You'd watch their whole morning deflate. No lattes, no cappuccinos, no cortados, just a sad little laminated sign taped to the machine that had clearly been there a while. When I asked how long it had been down, a coworker shrugged and said, "Couple months. It's just always like that." Here's the thing though. Before this, I spent 2 years doing kitchen equipment maintenance at a hotel. Dishwashers, ovens, and yeah, the big espresso setup in their cafe. I know my way around these machines. So one slow Wednesday, when the line had died and our manager was off for the day, I asked the shift lead if I could take a look. He laughed and said, "Man, if you can fix that thing, be my guest." The problem wasn't complicated once I got the side panels off. The group head was completely scaled over. One of the solenoid valves was jam solid with mineral buildup, and nobody had descaled the boiler in what looked like a year. Gunk everywhere. I spent almost 3 hours pulling it apart, cleaning every piece with the proper solution, and swapping out a little valve that cost maybe $8. While I worked, people started gathering. 2 coworkers who'd never seen anyone even try leaned over my shoulder. A couple of regulars at the counter stayed to watch. Somebody started filming. When I finally sealed it back up, flipped the power, and the boiler started climbing to temperature, the whole little crowd went quiet. I locked in a portafilter, ground a fresh dose, and pulled a shot. It came out slow and golden with a thick layer of crema on top. Perfect. The cafe actually erupted. People clapped. One of the regulars threw his hands up like his team had scored. A coworker hugged me. Word got around the block fast. Regulars who'd given up on us months ago came back in for lattes. We sold more espresso drinks in 3 hours than the store normally moved in several days. Kids got their hot chocolates made right. The morning crowd got their cortados back. I felt incredible. My coworkers kept saying I deserved a raise. One older woman bought a second latte just to thank me. The shift lead let me clock out early with full pay. I drove home that night genuinely proud of myself. The next morning I walked in and the general manager, Denise, was standing by the office with her arms crossed and a look on her face like I'd robbed the register. Before I even got my apron on, she handed me a write-up and a 2-week termination notice. I just stared at it. "You opened the espresso machine," she said flatly. I started explaining that I'd fixed it, that customers were thrilled, that we'd made a killing in sales. She held up a thick binder and cut me off. Turns out we didn't own that machine. The company leases it from the manufacturer under a service agreement, and the contract is airtight. Only the manufacturer's certified technicians are allowed to open it, clean it, or repair it. By taking those panels off myself, I'd voided the warranty and breached the lease. Corporate could be fined thousands. If a customer ever got burned or sick from a drink made on a machine serviced by an uncertified person, the liability landed on the company. It didn't matter that I'd done everything correctly. It didn't matter that it was working better than it had in a year. My coworkers tried. One of them told Denise I was just trying to help. Another pulled up the sales numbers on her phone. A few regulars actually asked why the guy who fixed the machine was getting fired. Denise wouldn't move an inch. Rules were rules, and I'd broken one with a dollar figure attached. I worked out those 2 awkward weeks, and the machine ran flawlessly the entire time. Every single latte we sold was a little reminder of exactly why I was leaving. But here's how it actually ended. One of those regulars who'd watched me that afternoon owned a company that services commercial espresso machines all over the city. He'd been standing right there when I pulled that first shot. On my last day, he slid his card across the counter and told me to call him Monday. Now I fix those exact machines for a living. Certified, on the books, paid nearly 3 times what that cafe ever gave me. Turns out I got fired for being good at the job I actually wanted.